Okay, so now we're in. First thing to get done is to like set up the UI how you want it. So you see here, I have like the basic UI on the default. I have this raid window open. That's of no use to me right now, so I'm gonna close it. This help, you can you can look at this if you want. Um, but you know, hopefully by watching this video, you won't need this help window. Music player, I don't want to use that. I don't need that, so I'm gonna close that. What I care about is this right here, my health and mana indicators, my target's health, my effects bar. This is going to show me what buffs I have or debuffs I have. This group window I'll want to keep open. This actions window down here I'll want to keep open. This is how I can sit down, camp out of the game, toggle between walking and running. I can see who's in the zone. And then I can come over to this tab and select different abilities. So like I was talking about before, we have hide. So I'm going to just select that, click and hold, bring that hide button over to my hot buttons bar, and here's what happens if I hide. Boom, just disappear. Gone. Nobody can see me. I'm like John Cena up in this bitch. We also have bind wound, sense heading, fishing, begging. So you can fish in this game. You can beg. You got to be careful with begging because if somebody gets annoyed with you, they will kill you. Sense heading is kind of how you see your direction, like know which way you're going, and it's tough at first because you're gonna have no idea what direction you're going, and that's gonna be the case for a long period of time. You just have to keep be persistent about using that if that's something that you want to use to determine your direction, and eventually you'll get skill ups on it and it'll improve and you'll be able to reliably tell which direction you're facing. But with being on Project Quarm, that skill is kind of obsolete. See, there we go. I'm heading east. It's kind of obsolete now because we have this compass. So if you really want to know, you have this compass. And then we also have the map if you're using Zeal, the Zeal add-on. So those are the main things that I'm really caring about. We've got our pet info window. So when I have a pet that I can summon, here's how I can control them. I can have them attack, have them follow me, have them guard a certain area, have them back off. I can dismiss them. I can make them sit down, and I can toggle between them taunting and not taunting. Over here we have our spell gem bars. Currently we don't have any spells scribed in our spell book, so we have no spells that we can memorize over here to our spell bar, but we'll get there. So the first thing is just kind of move things around and get them set up in such a way that it's presentable to you. You can always move things around more and more as time goes on. You find out what you like, but that's kind of first order of business in my mind is just get the screen looking presentable. All right, so I'm just going to minimize this map a little bit. Now, I don't want this window selector here either, so I'm just going to go, I think it's Alt W. Yeah, that'll toggle that on and off. But this window selector will allow you to like open or close any of these other windows you see on the screen. Now, we find ourselves in the Necromancer and Shadow Knight Guild. And I'm going to turn the music volume up just a bit because the music in this area is amazing and it adds so much to the immersion of this game. And it's a huge part of the reason why I love Neriak and I love the Dark Elf starting zone. Some of the best music in the game in this zone. Okay, so what do we got? We open our inventory and we see we have skin of milk, we have bread cakes. So food and drink are important factors in this game as well. If you run out of food and drink, then your game is going to give you a message saying you're hungry, you're thirsty, and what that's going to mean for your character is your stamina is not going to regenerate. So eventually you'll get to a point where you'll be at 0% stamina, meaning you can't jump anymore. And I think it like you can't jump, and I think it also means you might you're not going to be able to swim very effectively. I think you probably aren't going to recover your health as fast, maybe. I'm not sure exactly what all it means, but basically you want to have food and drink. You always want to have food and drink in your inventory. So now we have, let's see, we've got a dagger, so we're going to equip that. and we see that we have this Malin's Magical Concoction. This is specific to Project Quarm. You won't see this if you're playing on P99 or on another server. But what this is an experience potion. This has 28 charges. This should last about an hour, and I think it gives like a 50% experience boost. So it's great. I love having this. There's definitely mixed feelings about it. Not everybody loves that, but you know, if you don't like it, you can always destroy it or throw it away and not use it. We start with 2 spells at level 1. So generally, when you create a class that can cast, at least if it's a pure caster class, not a hybrid like a Shadow Knight or a Ranger, then you will start with 2 spells that you can scribe right off the bat. So let's go ahead and go through doing that. I'm going to open my spell book by doing Control B as a shortcut for spell book. And I'm going to take one of these scrolls and just click, drag, and drop it over to my spell book. Now I have this indicator down here at the bottom right that's kind of ticking down how much time it's taking me to scribe this spell to my spell book. At level 1, these things take quite a bit of time. As you gain levels, you gain experience, the process of scribing and memorizing spells goes much faster, but this is just kind of a flavor of what you're in for in this game. Like the how do you put it? Like the pacing is not fast. It's very slow, methodical, deliberate. You got to take your time. I think that's done deliberately because this is the kind of game where you've got to pay attention to the details. You know, you see all these NPCs here. They may or may not have like quests for you to do, other information for you that's important, but they're not going to have an exclamation mark over their head to tell you, hey, come talk to me. Like, you have to take the initiative to go up and talk to them yourself, and then figure out, based on like hints and clues that they're giving you, what do I do next? Where do I go from here? How do I figure out what you want me to do? There's very, very, very little hand-holding in this game. The only way you really get that is by looking up guides, watching videos like this, and you know, looking up the pre-established guides that people have done over the years. But we are scribing our spells here, and we also have a third item here in our inventory that is not a spell, it's just a tattered note. So let's see what that's about once we have our spells scribed. So we have Minor Shielding, and we have Life Tap. Minor Shielding, and here's another thing that's kind of tough about this game, is you can, if I like Alt and then click on the spell, it'll give me some stats about it. Okay, it's level 1, it's the Abjuration class of casting. It costs 10 mana, it's going to take 2.5 seconds to cast. Target is self only, so I can only use this on myself, and it can't be resisted. Okay, but it doesn't tell me what it does, or how long it lasts, or anything like that, you know, the real important stuff. So for that, like, you can either just figure it out based on like inference. So here's what we'll scribe this and I'll show you what I mean. We have on our inventory screen, we have all these stats that we had on our character selection screen. You know, there's the intelligence that I selected, there's our stamina. We also have our resists, and these are kind of our base stats. They're all just like whited out, no particular colors to them or anything. But if we cast this Minor Shielding on ourselves, we might see a change to something here. Maybe to our armor class, maybe to our agility, maybe to our strength, or what have you. For Minor Shielding, I'm thinking it's going to be an armor class buff, but we'll see. And so now that's on our spell bar. We're going to cast on ourselves, and you can see because this has like a yellow background, a yellow gem background, that means it's a self-only cast. You can only use this spell on yourself. So let's see what it looks like when we cast this on ourselves. And look at these. Hang on. Let's just take a minute to admire the Schnoogmeister here with these rippling abs, these like tremendous bulging pecs. Look at the definition on this guy. You know, for a wimpy little dark elf, he's pretty yoked. Look at these Popeye forearms, too. Holy crap. Choke me, daddy. Alright, let's just cast this buff on ourselves. So we have... It looks like armor class and hit points went up. Cool, cool. And then, okay, so here's our casting time bar. We'll want to keep note of that as well. I will scribe the life tab later, but for now, let's look at this tattered note and see what this is about. The Lodge of the Dead is now your home, and Zon Quexil is your master. Take this note and follow his orders. Okay, so take this note to him and follow his orders. So, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take this note and give it to him, just like it said. So I selected it from my inventory, clicked it, dragged it over to Zon Quexil. It opens up this trade window with him. I'm going to give it. In return, he gives me a dark stained training robe. I don't know why it has to be stained. I guess they really don't give a fuck about new recruits. They don't do laundry for us. They just, here, take this. Alright, we got our classic Dark Elf Necromancer look with the gray robe. Now, let's see. He just gave me that. Let's see if he says anything if I hail him. So there's this command, this action you can do in this game with NPCs, non-player characters, where you target them, you hit H on your keyboard for hail, and he says, Zon Quexil says, "Welcome to the Lodge of the Dead. May you serve our queen with the bleeding of others." Okay, so there's nothing to me there that indicates anything else. Maybe I could say, "How may I serve our queen?" No, I don't think there's anything for me to do with him. But that is going to be a thing. I'll show you in a moment after we train up some skills if we can. So right-clicking on your Guildmaster will open up this training window. And you see on the right I have Practices 5. I can put those anywhere I want. I can do one-handed blunt, two-handed blunt, abjuration, alteration, so on and so forth. And then certain skills will unlock at different levels. Like at level 4 I get Meditate. Meditate will allow me to regenerate my mana faster outside of combat, or at least while I'm sitting down, whether I'm in combat or not. For now, I think I'm gonna want to... Let's, where should we put this? I want to say our pet summoning spell is going to be Conjuration, so I'll put a couple there. Yeah, let's do five there. Okay. And now here's where we start to get a little bit lost. This guy, I think, is a Shadow Knight because he's wearing plate armor. He's got a sword. He's not a Necromancer, and he's going to tell me, yeah, you are not a member of the Shadow Knight class guild. Be gone. Okay. How about you? Same thing, another Shadow Knight. So we'll leave them alone. But you're wearing a robe. You might be a caster. Do you have anything to say? If we hail you. Alright. A little quiet. Quiet little, young-looking Dark Elf. He's a redcon to me, but he definitely looks like he's a good couple decades younger. Oh, he turned to look at me. What the heck? You have... Okay, so I think he's just another Guildmaster that you can train with. But now, where do we go from here? Keep in mind, in 1999, there were no maps. If you wanted a map, you would have to go look it up online, on an external browser. Something like that. But now, here we see we venture out of that main room, just using WASD. And we see, immediately, there's a bar-looking area. Now, what's going on here? If I hail you, anything? No? How about you? No? Nothing to say? Aha! Okay. So you see, like, there's nothing to indicate that she would have anything to say to me versus anybody else. But because I'm being thorough and I'm going through hailing everybody, she says, "Greetings, Disciple Schnoogmeister. Feel free to inspect my wares. I am here to serve all necromancers of the dead. I can also enchant a Ring of the Dead if you have one." I don't, but what is a Ring of the Dead? "When you learn to serve the dead, then I will find the time to speak of such things. Okay, no idea how to progress that. That's probably gonna be something I have to look up um, on a guide. Oh, come on. This is what's kind of funky, is like, I'm standing right here, I have him targeted, I can see him, but I hail and it doesn't go to him because I'm standing behind the bar, I guess. So I gotta go all the way over here. Now try. Alright, still nothing. How about you? No, nothing? Okay, so that's one thing I've tried with them. I've tried hailing all of them. One person had something to say, but I don't know what she's talking about yet. So I'll have to just keep that in mind. I'll have to remember that. But I can come right-click on them, and look at this. She opens up a trade window. She's a merchant. And what is she selling? She's selling spells. These are a little bit rich for my blood right now at 16 platinum. I have 0, so I can't buy these. But that's okay, because these spells are much further down the line, level 29, level 34. So I'll know when I'm around that level, she'll be my gal. What about you? What do you sell? Also selling spells, but look, this is only 1 gold, 2 silver, 5 copper, much cheaper. So maybe, here we go. Here's our level 1 spells. Still doesn't help me now because I don't have any money, and I know that at least when I do get some money, I can come back here and buy some level 1 spells. First on that list is probably going to be this one, Cavorting Bones. This is my first pet summon, so that's going to help me tremendously when I'm out there killing. And I think it's reasonably safe to assume that these other vendors are going to have spells, and they may also have some spell components. There are certain spells as you get higher and higher level in this game that require different reagents in order to cast. And yeah, looks like I can find that stuff here. But for now, because I have no money, I am just going to continue on exploring throughout this guild and see what else I can find. Is there anything else important that I need to know before I leave? Before I go out and explore the world and start killing monsters and gaining experience. Okay, so we see another room here with 3 other people. Let's hail all of you. Nothing to say. How about the twins back here? Anything? No? No? Okay. What kind of... More spells. 1 gold. Oh, so you might be another... It looks like these are more level 1 spells, but it's like different level 1 spells than the other person had. So that's good to know. That's good to know that some of the spells I'm going to want to get are from this guy, and some are from the other room from that lady. How about this? Okay, looks like you have the same ones. I don't know why. Oh, that's because... Okay, this guy has the spells, and this guy... Oh, this guy has weapons. Why are they selling weapons in the Necromancer Guild, you ask? I have no idea. No clue. Ooh. But I do see a Lightstone and Greater Lightstone. Might come back and pick that up sometime and get some more money, because that could be useful down the line. So it's like weapons, armor, some bandages, a backpack. That's good to know. Good to know that kind of stuff can be found here. Some more like little reagents here, carnelian, jasper. But nothing for us to worry about right now. What about you? What do you have? More spells. Okay, Spook the Dead. That's a... Oh, level 12 for that one. Okay. So, with spells, if you're going to play a spellcaster, just know that getting your spells are not super straightforward. It's not like going to a trainer and then training your new spells, or just having them unlock and be added to your bar. You have to go physically purchase the spells, and those spells might be scattered throughout 3 different vendors, and they may not even all be in your own in your starting hometown as you get higher and higher level. But we'll cross that bridge again when we come to it. Here we have more people up here. There's a gnome, probably a shadow knight, doing some business up here with these guys. Let's see, what do you have to say? Nothing. Do you have anything to sell? Okay, more spells, some gear. How about you? Anything to say? No? No? Another trainer? Okay. You're probably a Shadow Knight, so I doubt you got shit to say to me. Oh, whoa, okay, hang on. Lobil Sinez says, "What is this I see before me? A would-be hero of the dead? You reek of false bravado. I have seen others much stronger than you meet their fate at the end of a blade. I see no reason to continue our conversation. How can one such as you assist with my delegated duties?" I don't know. How can I assist with your delegated duties? Why do you ask? I know why. Glory has captured your affections. Those who seek glory find death. Still, you may be of some use. Before I assign you a task, I must be assured of your power. I require you to perform a test. I will perform a test. In the Lava Storm mountain range, there have been sightings of a paladin, one Sir Lindale. He has compromised our routes between, well, that's none of your concern. All you need to know is that this paladin of the Temple of Mar must be sent to his everlasting life. Do so, and prove your worth to us. I await your proof. Use no assistance. If you are truly equal, then I shall know. I know all. Okay, so this is a quest that we can keep in our back pocket. It's in Lava Storm Mountains to kill a paladin, it sounds like. We're not going to be able to do that anytime soon because Lava Storm Mountains is like, I don't know, like level 15 plus. And we've got a long way to go before we get there. But if we can remember that, I'm curious to see what we would get as a reward for returning with proof of this paladin's death. Oh, looks like our minor shielding buff is fading off. You can see here in the effects window, I got 12 seconds on it. Let's put it back up. See how long it lasts. 12 minutes, okay. Now I know you have a quest for me too, and you're a necromancer, another necromancer trainer. So let's hail you. Noxopasek says, "Greetings, Schlugmeister. We of the dead are proud to have you among us. Your lineage is well known. Still, you must learn to claw your way to the upper echelon. There are many menial tasks to be performed before you can be truly inducted as a member." What menial tasks? "You cannot avoid the toil of peons. We have all spent our time in the lower ranks. There are duties such as collecting beetle eyes." I will collect beetle eyes. And like that, he gives me a box. I put that box in my inventory, and boom. Now I have 10 slots that I can, 10 extra slots in my inventory that I can play around with. Though, keep in mind, this is capacity is tiny, so it's only going to be small items that I can put in here. Small items like beetle eyes. Alright, he says, "Take this chest. It has been fitted with a mold designed to hold 10 beetle eyes. We require them for further experiments. Do not return until you fill the chest." Aye, aye, Captain. Alright, and that, I believe, is it. That's all we've got here in the Necromancer Guild. So, there we go. Check that off the list. We've talked to our guildmaster, we've described our spells, we've got a couple of quests, we know where to come back to get new spells when we have the money for it. Now, we need to find our way out of this city.